Hi everyone, welcome to Aussie Prison Stories. Today I'm going to be talking about hooking up with a female CO. Now this all went down during me 4.5 years while I was serving for 4.5 years for armed robbery in Goulburn Correctional Centre. And it also happened again 2.5 years later after I got locked up again. But that was in another jail called Lithgow Correctional Centre. But I'll talk about that in maybe a part two. So I was in Goulburn serving me time, and I got moved to C Wing in Goulburn, and ended up getting a sweeper's job there, which was pretty good. And I noticed, like every morning that when she used to let me out, at 6:30 in the morning to do my job, she always used to give me this smile, give me this look, and just, when you know that a woman likes you, you would know just by the way she's looking at you. So I get to talking to her. Her name was Miss McDougal, and I got talking to her. I mean, she was alright, as far as female CEOs go, and she was like maybe, at that time, she was like 30, maybe 32. She was like 5'3", a little bit chubby, but she had a really good personality, and then I ended up getting to know her. And then, and I just kept on talking to her every day, and then that led to her coming into my cell. She used to come into my cell and sit on my bed, sit on my bed right next to me, and she used to ask me questions about my life, about me, just trying to get to know me, and she kept on, her hand kept on brushing up against my leg, and I didn't do anything at that stage, I just like threw it off as nothing. And then later on that night, I thought to myself, next time she comes into my cell, if she does that again, I'm gonna do the same thing and see what happens, because at this stage it was only us. It was only us two in the wing, because all the boys from in the wing were out in the yard. They were locked out in the yard, and there was only her and one other CO there, but he was hardly ever there. But the next morning, she unlocks me cell. She always used to say, because in prison here, I don't know how it is anywhere else around the world, but they call you by your last name. But she never. She always used to call me by my first name, Adam. She opens the door. Good morning, Adam. How are you? Oh yeah, I'm alright, Miss McDougal. And I end up doing my job, hand out the breakfast, clean up the wing, and then I go into my cell, make a coffee and have a cigarette. And she came into my cell, and I actually made her a cup of coffee, and she took it, which I was very surprised, because I'm sure they get told not to take anything from new mates. But yeah, she's sitting on my bed and we talking, and we're drinking coffee, and she does the same thing again, brush her hand up against my leg. So I do the same thing to her. I brush my hand against her leg, And, she looked at me and smiled. And I said, "Oh, you like that, did you?" And she giggled. And I'm thinking, "Oh, yeah. Should I go for it or shouldn't I?" And then, I just thought to myself, well, let's just see what happens here. So I kissed her. I leaned over and I kissed her. And she kissed me back. And we got to kissing in the cell. We were kissing and fooling around a bit and touching each other. And then, she gets up and closes my cell door. She walks in, and she gets naked, I get naked. We ended up fooling around and we ended up doing the business in the cell. Made love in the cell, and this used to happen every single morning. This went on for like 6 months, and I was sleeping with this CEO for like 6 months, and I used to ask her, like to bring in stuff for me, and she used to bring in some weed, she used to bring in some heroin, so I can talk about this now because she's no longer a CEO. She's no longer a corrective services officer. She's doing some normal job now, so there's nothing going to come back on her. And she used to bring some weed and some heroin in for me. So that was pretty cool. At that time we could smoke, we could still smoke cigarettes, we could still smoke tobacco, so I didn't need that. But this is cool. Not only was she bringing me like weed and heroin and that, and I was getting laid every day, which was awesome. But she used to bring in like the best chicken. Like I've never tasted chicken. The taste is so good. It's the chicken that she used to cook for me. Like she used to bring in dishes. Like she used to bring it in and say it's her lunch. And there'll be like some days it'll be like chicken, barbecue chicken and fried rice, or some seafood, or like a hamburger, or kebab, stuff like that. So she was looking after me really, really well. And then what happened, like after that 6 months, like, because we were sleeping together every single day, and I wasn't complaining, like I was loving it, and what ended up happening was, after that 6 months, of hooking up with this female CEO, she got called into the captain's office and said, "Oh, look, we've had some inmates, that's been saying stuff about you." She's like, "What do you mean saying what?" And she's like, "Well, they're saying that you've been going in to Thompson's cell every morning, and they hear some sounds coming out of my cell. What do you have to say about that?" And she was like, "I don't know what you're talking about, I don't go in your cell." And there was no cameras. Back then there was no cameras in the wings, so that was good, so they couldn't prove that. And so they called me, they ended up doing an investigation. And they called me in to the office, and they said, "Oh, there's been some allegations that you having a relationship with a female officer." And I just threw off and I said, "You're fucking joking, aren't you? Why the fuck would I have a relationship with a pig? You know the way I think about you guys and how much I hate you." And he says, "So what, it's not true?" And I said, "Fucking know if it's not true." I said, "You're fucking serious? I got morals, dude. And I'm not that fucking desperate, you know?" And then it's like, "Okay, well, we're gonna lodge an investigation." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, here we go." So I lose my job. I lose my sweeper's job. During the investigation, it went on for like 2.5 weeks, and they locked me up in this aggro, which is the hole and they locked me up in there, and I was in there for like a month and a half. This investigation was going on, and thankfully nothing was proven. Nothing was proven. The allegations wasn't proven, and not only did I get shipped off, not only did I get bloody shipped off to another jail, to another prison, but later did I find out they only done this while I was trying to find somewhere for her to get transferred to. So I got shipped off. I got shipped off to Bathurst jail, and then to Lithgow, and then I came back to Goulburn prison, Goulburn Correctional Centre. A couple of months later, maybe about 3.5 months later, I came back to Goulburn. She was gone. The boys told me that she got shipped off, and they transferred her, of all things, to a bloody women's prison. They transferred her to a fucking women's prison, so that was my experience with hooking up with a female CO, and it was awesome, I've never slept with a fucking cop before, but hey, one thing that us guys really, really crave when we're locked up in prison, is to have that female company and to be able to smell a woman, and to be able to touch a woman, Yeah, I was very lucky and was very fortunate. To this day, I still don't know why, she chose me and what she saw in me. But that was that was pretty crazy. And like I said before, that's not the first time that happened. That happened again when I got out and came back in and ended up going to Lithgow Correctional Centre. But I'll make a part two. I'll make a part two of this video, and I'll talk about that. Hooking up with a second female CO at Lithgow Correctional Centre. But that was my experience, hooking up with a female CO. And one thing I'm grateful for, that I didn't get her pregnant, because goddamn, that's the last thing I needed, But you do what you got to do, right, in prison, And it's not something that happens, like back in those days, you'll hear of stories of guys hooking up with female COs, but these days it's very rare. It doesn't happen much these days because they've cracked down on that, and the female COs that we've got now in prison, I tell you what, they're like bloody army drill sergeants, I hope you enjoyed that story, and look out for part two of hooking up with a female CO, and please like, subscribe, share this video, comment, and I've got 17 years of prison stories, so there's a lot more to come. So I hope you guys stay safe, take care, and I'll see you all again real soon. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Harvey from Harvey Talks Prison, because he uploaded the video that I recorded from him, and he made a fire intro. Love the title. So I thank Harvey very much for that, and all of his support, and all of you guys that have been watching, liking, subscribing, commenting. I appreciate you all very much. And here at Aussie Prison Stories, I don't want to say APS because I'm not associated with the After Prison Show. I don't want to be associated with that snitch. But here at Aussie Prison Stories, we are a family. So you guys take care, stay safe, and look out for part two of hooking up the female CO coming real soon. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.